you need to look at money as spending, and I consider investing the highest form of spending. So you can look at all money as investing. It makes the game a lot more fun. All right. Saving targets aren't fun because saving targets are restraint. Saving targets are defense, and nobody wants to play defense. You know, when I was in sports growing up, the last thing I ever wanted to do was play defense. I wanted to be offense, scoring goals, shining, out there winning. Okay, so you want spending targets, and you want the targets like, you know, how do you spend $40,000 a month by the time you're 40? Okay, if you're in your 30s like I am, right? All my targets by 40. I have my mission, and I have exactly how much I want to be making, how much of it's going to come from coaching, products, seminars, etc., and then exactly where every dollar is going. And it's all positive. It's all going somewhere. So even if I'm taking 10,000 and putting it into a bank account every month, that to me is investment in my financial security and stability. So it's still an offensive target. It's still a much more fun target than these restraint targets. Restraint targets, savings targets, it's like a diet. It's like, you know, you don't want to go on the diet, but you have to, as opposed to, you know, now money, you're looking at all money as offense, okay? And you're also looking at, like, you know, maybe you have seven figures in the bank, maybe you have 500,000, maybe you have 100,000, maybe you have 10,000, okay? But if you have $10,000, $1,000 is 10% of your net worth. I knew salesmen who were making six figures a year, but they live paycheck to paycheck because they would spend all their money on garbage, or some of those things were positive, but the ROI was terrible. Like $1,000 on a suit roller that you can put your suit in, you fly cross country, and then you get off the plane, your suit's still, you know, crisp and clean. Okay, when you don't have a lot of money, even though that's an investment that's not hurting you, it's a bad investment. So these guys would probably have a net worth of, you know, after you include the down payment on the condo and all this stuff, 20 grand, and then they go spend 5 grand on a vacation, or they'd spend, some guys I'd see spend 40 grand on a wedding, and they'd have nothing left over and be 32, 33 years old, literally putting 100% of their net worth into that wedding. Minus perhaps the down payment that they had or the equity they have in their condo, but that money is dead money, right? You can't use that in an emergency or something like that. So that's a massive thing to think of. Is like if you're about to make a big decision, okay, a big decision for you might be $1,000, it might be $100,000. How much of my net worth am I spending on this, right? As opposed to what else could I do to make this $1,000 become $10,000? Or this $10,000 become $100,000. What's the best investment for this, right? By far, it's going to be, you know, a high margin, high ticket business. If you don't have one already, I highly suggest you buy one. But my financial targets, my mission target includes finances, includes everything. You know, and I explain how to do this in my book, How to Get Organized. Every dollar is allocated. Okay, so from rent, reinvestment, financial security, food, entertainment, women, toys. Okay, I count, like, you know, cameras and stuff like that as toys, condos, whatever it is. You have a plan for it, and that allows you to create such a more exciting vision. Okay, especially because when you know where you want to live, you can put it up on the pictures of it up on your whiteboard, sort of the vision quest or the visualization board, and you can see where you're going to be living, what car you're going to be driving, you know, what kind of person you want to be dating, and have that all allocated for in terms of spending goals. Okay, I want to be able to spend $40,000 a month, or I want to be able to spend $100,000 a month, right? With 50, 60, 70,000 going towards financial security, okay, or wealth protection, which is a better term. It's still all spending targets. It's still offense. It's still a lot more fun. And when you truly internalize this, it's going to change the way you think about money. You're going to value it so much more, and you're going to go after it a lot harder. At least that's how it was for me. So, in summary, all money cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. It's always going somewhere. It only exists to be spent. Okay, it's either being spent on something that's good for you or bad for you. The most logical thing to do is look at all money, all spent money as an investment, and try and spend as much as possible on things that are good for you, and ideally things that are going to compound. You know, that $10,000 that you have in savings, or maybe $100,000, could be millions of dollars within 3 to 5 years if you put it in the right vehicle. So really valuing that and acting accordingly.